Hello, Orange County, and welcome to our Meet the Member for today. My name is Lynn Allen Sion. I'm the President and CEO of the Orange County Chamber of Commerce, a group that I am so proud to lead. We have been with you for the past 4 months during this pandemic, and we will continue to be with you. I know it's been really trying for a lot of you, and please know that we are here for you. So you can contact us to help if you need PPE, if you need any assistance with if you need PPE, if you need any assistance with any of the regulations on the PPE. The EIDL loans have closed out. There are a number of other grants and loans that are available through Central Hudson and Orange Bank and Trust and Empire State Bank that are working with, not Empire State Bank, that are working with the businesses. But if you have any questions, please feel free to call us, and we'll be there to help you. And today it's my honor and my privilege to be able to introduce to you Newburgh Vintage Emporium and Newburgh Vintage Warehouse. Two of our members, and Anthony Vizevner and Matt Smith are here with us. So hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm wonderful. I'm better now that the two of you are on the screen. Two of my favorite people in Orange County. And oh, thanks. I mean, you know, we love you guys. And I just want to I showed this to you before, but see, I am also a customer.
My bag.
Yes, well, you know, and I'm before we start, I do want people to know, you know, that Jim and we are antique lovers, and our entire house is filled with antiques, many of which come from Newburgh Vintage Emporium and Newburgh Vintage Warehouse. So we want to thank you both, because I know that your roots are in New York City, and I want to thank you for finding a home in Orange County, because you have added so much to our retail space and to help to build that out. So thank you for that from the bottom of my heart.
Oh, that's so sweet. We're so happy to be here, and we love Orange County. We love being a part of the new community in Newburgh. And I have to really credit Matt for finding Newburgh and finding the Vintage Emporium for us. He's been the spearheader of kind of driving that with us and found this kind of dream for us, and he really took it to another level. So it's really fun for us to do that.
Well, thank you, Matt. So why don't we talk a little bit about, you know, the warehouse, where that was, how you expanded the Emporium, and how you expanded into the warehouse.
Totally.
So the warehouse, I have a business. I have a design archive that I've now moved to Newburgh, but it's been based in New York City for about 10 years, working with big fashion brands around the world. I started to think about how I could transition the business into Newburgh, because we're up here now for the stores. We live around here. So I basically started the process of looking for a studio space that could house that business. And we were kind of approached by our same landlord and shown the warehouse furniture space.
And we really saw the need for more places for customers to discover more antiques. Yeah. We had a great spot here with people coming in all over, and they kept saying, well, where else is there to go? Where else is there to find more? And we were like, well, we can create more, and in turn create more of a destination for Newburgh to be this kind of antique hub, especially with the proximity to the city. I mean, as you know, Orange County in Newburgh is the crossroads of the Northeast. Sure. So for us, we found this great opportunity to make Newburgh more of a destination, to help drive people to this amazing area, to discover the restaurants and the waterfront and all the other cool things you can do when you're here, but also create a place for more entrepreneurs and other antique dealers to have space to sell, which is awesome.
Because that's essentially our business model. Is we allow small businesses that can't afford the full overhead of having an antique store or a vintage store,
or even a local maker for that matter.
They're able to come to us, and we partner with them and allow them to expand their business beyond just online only, or however they're selling, if it was in flea markets or some of the other outlets and avenues that people use. So it was a great way to bring a lot of new people into the business that have wanted to be in the business for a long time.
And I think what was really fun about the warehouse is we had an opportunity to create a space from scratch, if you will, where we got to have some more, we call it the experiential store, where you go in there and there's an 8-foot Yeti and a milk truck and all these kind of different experiences that you can discover and take pictures with, as well as discover and shop. And customers love going to both locations. They're constantly going back and forth. So I'll see somebody at the shop on 9W, and then I'll run over to the warehouse and I'll see them over there. I'll come back to 9W, here they are again. And you're like, oh, hey, how are you? And in turn, we're creating people spending more time in Newburgh and spending more time in Orange County and the area, which is a lot of fun, as you know.
So you started out with the Emporium, and where is that located?
Yeah, we're at on 9W at the crossroads of the foot of the Beacon,
Newburgh Beacon Bridge.
So We're
But
just
you're on the
on
south
right.
side.
And it was actually Matt who discovered the Emporium on a weekend trip up here. We saw it as we were driving down 84, and he said, "Let's stop." And I said, "We have to keep going. We have to keep going." And of course, we got in a big fight because we didn't stop at the antique store. Lo and behold, to a year later, to us having a house just up the road from the Emporium, and then Matt came in and actually became a dealer for a few years. And so, starting as a dealer, I came in and I assisted, well, reluctantly assisted, helping him with his booth, pricing his items and decorating. And then the opportunity came over to take over this location in 2019. And we really just saw a cool opportunity to kind of highlight the curb appeal of the building and create it as even more of a destination for vintage and antiques.
So it's really, you just said 2019. I mean, it just seems so long that we've known each other. But it's only been a year, and you've expanded into 2 locations now within a year.
The original location opened in 2015. It was actually one of the first, I call it one of the, the retail, helping kind of the retail renaissance in Newburgh reemerge, if you will, with like small businesses and whatnot. And we just love the location, we love the people, we love the dealers, and we mostly love the team too. We kind of fell in love with working with the team that was here, which we're so grateful to have them be a part of us. And so we kind of jumped in full force and really, hit the ground running, and then found the opportunity to open the warehouse, and we just kind of keep going, and we're having so much fun with it. But we're grateful because it's truly a store of over 150 different people coming together to make it special. And that's what's unique about the Vintage Emporium.
And I'm going to say this, I mentioned this to you earlier, but I'm going to say this now, just being a fan, but also, knowing something about antiques, is one of the things that this pandemic has done is that it's closed out the traditional venues that many people like I would go to, the various flea markets that are in the area, the antique fairs. So, Jim and I aren't going up to Madison Bouckville. We're not going down to Pennsylvania. We're not going over to Danbury. So we're not doing that. So you're really positioned perfectly to be able to be a venue for all of us who are desperate to look for antiques.
Very cool.
And so that we're pushing a lot of people to you. But one of the things I did want to and also thank you for your membership. We appreciate your membership very much. But one of the things that I found interesting is how with the whole COVID and the coronavirus is how you were able to, once you were able to go to curbside and then open, how you, even before that, you were able to still maintain your business. What did that look like for you?
Scary.
It was scary. I mean, here we are a true brick and mortar business. I mean, the online portion of our business is so small. We have one of each item. So to put everything on a website for us is really time consuming and just a lot of work for the single items. And so, we kind of said, okay, what are we going to do to really keep the Vintage Emporium going during this time? So we started out with live shows, if you will, as a way to just kind of keep the Vintage Emporium and keep your vintage fix happening and kind of look around the store.
Yeah, we did good live shows. Then we were also, it's springtime, everyone's working on their house, so we start posting all the garden
patio furniture,
and we kind of just rode with what was working. If we had it, we were posting it and finding new homes for it during the closure. So,
and I think it was unique because we discovered a lot of new customers during this pandemic, customers that hadn't shopped with us, that were buying things from us and coming to visit us. And then we kind of, as we got to curbside, we were able to then go into private shopping appointments, which was really helpful. So we really just pivoted every time something changed within the guidelines. Of course, number one focus was keeping our environment safe, keeping us safe, keeping our customers safe, and all those things. But I feel like, every time there was a new opportunity, we had to kind of pivot and shift to keep ourselves ahead of how to keep going through this pandemic. Because as everyone's suffering and everyone's going through some kind of traumatic experience emotionally, whether they've lost a loved one or a business or something through this, it's been terrible for everyone. So
yeah, and I think it's all about reimagining the wheel. So we've always had kind of a modern take on a very old-fashioned business, and I think we just went ahead and took it on to the next level. I mean, we had the time, so we were like, how can we make this work for us to our advantage, at least the best we can? And it's very tricky. You learn a lot of things as you go. It's on the fly. There's no guidebook that says this is what happens during a pandemic and your business is closed for 3 months and you depend on that business to live.
I have to say that's where being a member of the chamber, it was such a huge resource for us, because where do you go? We've just taken over this business almost a year and a half into running and owning a business for the first time. And who do you turn to ask questions to? How do you evolve yourself, and who do you have a resource to? So being a member of the chamber has been super awesome for that. just to be able to come to you to ask questions and to help us guide us through this.
Oh, well, that's what we do. That's what we're here for. And it's been very, as we discussed earlier, it's been really interesting, but it's been very difficult because the guidance has changed on a daily basis. The guidance comes out like the day before you're supposed to do it.
Yeah.
It's like, surprise! Exactly. It's like, guess what?
Well, and then with that comes the caution of the environment we're in, going, okay, this is what I can do. What is the right thing to do for our customers? What is the right thing to do for our team? How do we make sure that our dealers are safe? We have a lot of people moving in and out of our shops, beyond just our customers. And so I think we have a responsibility to make sure that we're doing the right things by being cautious with our guidelines to make sure that everyone is safe when they come in.
Yeah. And we've had a lot of customers that have been very appreciative of the extra effort that we've made, and they have felt comfortable to come here from another place that maybe had a lower incidence of COVID than we had here. And they felt comfortable enough from what we instructed them that we're doing in our store. It's made them feel comfortable enough to come in and actually shop when they're not really going to any big box chain. Like, they're not doing those kinds of stores.
We've had quite a few customers come in and say, you're actually the first retail store that I've been into in 4 months, because
wow,
coming in to visit you guys because you showed us what you're doing to kind of take
and we
steps.
take it seriously. You know, you go in a lot of the chain stores, you don't see anything to sanitize a hand with. You don't see the things that you should have available to you in the store. And you're like, okay, great, glad I brought my supplies. But, when you're in these sort of stores, you can be in here for an hour easily if you want to be. So we want to make sure people feel comfortable to stay in the environment as long as they want to stay, without feeling like they need to get in and get out with, as little, what's the word I'm looking for? Like contact. And,
absolutely.
they just want it to be as quick as they can possibly be. They kind of take the time and slow down and actually enjoy the experience rather than being in a very anxious mindset.
Totally. So what are some of the things that, because I don't want to give it away because I'm in there, so I know, but you tell people, what are some of the things that you've done to ensure that not only your team is safe, but that, your product is safe and your customers and your dealers are safe? So what are some of the things that you've done?
The main things that we've done, we have multiple hand sanitizing stations throughout the store. We have plexiglass protecting us from the customers when it is time for them to make the purchase. We encourage them not to touch things unless they really need to touch it and want to bring it up to purchase it. And then we've asked also our dealers who partner with us to make sure to clean their merchandise every time they come in and make sure that everything's really had a good once over.
And we also shifted our shopping experience. And before, our team on the floor, if you had an item that you were going to purchase, we would take it from your hands. Now we ask the customer to bring it up to the cash rep, set it down, so it can rest for a few minutes before we take the tag off. And then we created a self-wrapping station. So that, again, further minimizes our contact with your items that you're taking home and allows you just to minimize contact amongst everybody within the store. And I have to say, the one thing that I've been so proud of is our customers have been great. They've followed our new guidelines. We don't have public restrooms right now. We're asking you to self-wrap. We're asking you to distance. We're asking you to wear masks, of course. And everybody's been truly wonderful and compliant and kind. And I think that's what, as a business owner right now, everyone just needs to be a little bit kinder and in care, and we're all trying to do that. And I think that's what's so great about this community is I really see that happening here, and it's so wonderful to have.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, and it really is. I mean, people really are being very patient. I'm just looking to see if we have any comments.
Sure.
Yes, actually we do. We have Lauren says, hi guys, this is Lauren. Both your stores are wonderful. Definitely something for everyone. Amal, who of course is on, says, hi, hey guys. We love Newburgh Vintage Emporium.
So
and, one of the things that I do have to say is this, as you said, this has brought out people have become much more patient with each other, much kinder. There is an increase in empathy. That especially with everything else going on in society, because there's a lot of uproar and upheaval going on outside of COVID. And people I'm seeing generally are much more patient with each other. But you guys have really gone above and beyond to be kind to your customers, because you're really very intentional about, because I think, don't you have directionals and stuff also in your store?
Absolutely. Yeah. We worked with Rag House, a Newburgh printing and design business here, to create all of our signage for the store. our safe distance spacing in store. So we always like to work locally to do things like that.
Thank you for that.
Really great results from that. So they've been partners with us all along, really, in making this happen.
What really clarifies for the customer, this is the expectation. This is what we need you to do to keep everybody safe. And everyone's been great about it. Yeah. So we've been really fortunate for that.
Well, I'm thrilled about that for you. I'm thrilled that you're here and in Newburgh, because you're a great asset for Newburgh. It's a great city, and you folks just fit in so well into the town. So just because we're going to be wrapping up now, that 15 minutes goes really fast, doesn't it?
We could talk to you forever, really.
Yeah, ditto here. But where are you located? Your Instagram handle, your Facebook handle, because you had mentioned that you're doing some online sales.
Absolutely. So we have 2 locations in Newburgh, New York. They're about 7 minutes apart, really at the anchors to both retail sides of Newburgh. The original store is at 5006 Route 9W, literally at the foot of the Newburgh Beacon Bridge, exit 39 off of Interstate 84. And then our new warehouse location is on Route 17K, which is right off of Route 300. So again, the stores are minutes apart. Between the 2 locations, we have over 50,000 square feet of retail space with over 150 dealers in our shops. So it's truly incredible. Vintage, antiques, repurposed furniture, local makers. We have some amazing candle brands. We have,
even if you're not the traditional vintage antique customer, you're going to enjoy the stores, and you're going to find something that makes you smile and makes you happy. That's the whole point of these stores, is we want you to take a trip down memory lane. You may not be an antique buyer, but you're going to find something that you can't walk out without.
Absolutely.
And I have to echo that, because your stores, both of your stores, the amount of treasures, it's so diverse. I found those vintage bulletin board 1960s astronaut Mercury capsule, and then you turn around and there's this phenomenal piece of 19th century French porcelain. So it's just incredible. And
something for everyone. Our price point goes from $5 to on up. So we're not a museum in that sense, where everything is $500 and up, and you can take something home. Anybody can find something here. Yeah,
we appreciate that, and we do have somebody else who says that they're looking forward to visiting very soon. So you may have gotten a new customer out of this.
Say hello to us when you come.
And this, just so you know, this is being recorded. This will be living on our Facebook page, and it'll be uploaded to our YouTube. So you will be living forever in the archives of the Orange County Chamber. So thank you so much, guys. Be safe. Make sure you wear your masks. Thank you for everything that you do, and thank you for being a member of the Chamber, and thank you so much for finding a home here in Orange County and in Newburgh.
Thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Orange County Chamber.
We appreciate it.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.